So why would you employ a media buyer? What does a media buyer do? And why would you employ a media buyer to come on board to your company to run your Facebook, your Google, or your TikTok? Before I answer those, I just want to come back to the reason I'm making this video. So the more audits, the more accounts that we run, say for Facebook, Google, or TikTok, what I'm seeing is a number of very kind of easy fixes that companies are not doing to the back end of, say, Facebook or Google, whether it be tracking not set up correctly, maybe just a pixel tracking set up, not other forms of tracking, ads not set up correctly, not understanding the data. I think the biggest one is understanding the data coming back. We've got to be careful when we're looking at videos, especially on YouTube, of gurus talking about how to run Facebook ads 2 years, 3 years, 4 years ago. The platform's very different now. There's a lot of adjustments, especially if you're doing Google. Google search has changed. Google's now converted over to AI Bard. So we need to make sure that the information that we're educating ourselves with is up to date, and with the ever-changing world of digital marketing, whether it be Facebook, Google, TikTok, things are always changing. So make sure that if you are watching videos, they're done by reputable people who actually run agencies and actually run ads on a regular basis, something that we do. We run ads every single day. So I know what's working now. I'm always able to adjust. I'm happy to adjust depending on if it's like, for instance, Google, they've brought out Performance Max. That's another way you can run your ads. Search campaigns have changed. Rather than just putting in one keyword, we need to put a minimum of three, 4, 5 keywords to make a sentence, because the Google has now transferred over to AI Bard. So that's fully integrated now with AI. And as we know, if you've been around AI, which everyone should have been by now, the amount of data coming through, we know the more information we put into AI, then the better information we'll get out. So that means we've got to put in exactly what we want from the AI, rather than just putting in minimal information. We'll get minimal information out. So that goes Google search. Make sure we're putting in 3, 4, 5 words rather than just one word, which was previous. So we've got to make sure we're up to date with everything. What does a media buyer actually bring to the table, and why employ one? Well, first of all, we should be analysing a business before we even start running ads, where the pain points are, where the business is, where it needs to go, how we're going to get there. The first thing is, if we're, say, running ads currently and we're making 1 sale a month, the first thing we need to do is, you can't make profit. We need to break even. The first point is to break even, and then we can make a profit. So we need to figure out ways that we can, first of all, get the ads running, get them breaking even, to then make them profitable, and then to stabilize the accounts. Ad accounts need to be stabilized, and then we can start creating projections based on stabilization of ad accounts. And Google, Facebook, TikTok, they're all the same. We need to stabilize. We can't just come in, turn an ad off, turn everything off, put things on. If we're taking over an account that has multiple campaigns running, don't turn them all off. Turn off the ones that are the worst performing, and leave the ones that are working quite well, and then look to change over time. And it's the same with Google. If you make any sudden adjustments, then what will happen is you go back into the learning process, and it just takes longer. And then clients and people will become unhappy to why results are not coming. It's because we're not nurturing. You've got to nurture these platforms. They're very clever. They're very smart, the AI, but you need to tell it what needs requiring. So we need to analyze companies. We need to understand where they want to take the business. We also need to understand budgets. So, if we're going to put budgets in, what is a realistic budget for a business, and then to get the data coming through. So we need to be looking at data-driven performance, which means we're not relying on our emotions so much. We're relying on the data that's coming back to us. Let me give you an example. A lot of people focus on ROAS, which is absolutely fine, but we also need to be looking at other metrics, things like what's your click-through rate, your cost per lead, cost per purchase, average order value. Is it profitable to be running a Facebook campaign where you can get a cost per lead or cost per result for this amount? And we look at the average order value, and then from there we can understand whether we can make those ads profitable. Are we looking to discount, or are we looking, which is my favorite thing to do, something that I recommend consistently, is to create bundles. As soon as we start creating a bundle for, say, running a Facebook campaign, the average order value can go from, say, £25, $25 to double, 40, 50, 60 pounds or dollars. And then that Facebook ad becomes a lot easier to run, because your cost per result, your cost per purchase, is going to be a lot less, and then it's going to be more profitable. So it's going to be more of a profitable campaign if we can create a better average order value. So we're looking at the metrics, we're understanding the metrics. It's not just about the ROAS. If we're making a sale and we're running a business, we need to be looking at not just the sale, but the lifetime value. How are we nurturing? Once somebody comes in and sees an ad, they click on, they become a lead, or they buy a product or a service, then how are we looking after that customer? The hardest thing is to look after the customers that we have. Sorry, the easiest thing. The hardest thing is to get a customer. So once we've got a customer, make sure we're looking after it. Make sure that we don't need to then put ads again to get the same customer because we have that customer. So nurture, communicate, blogs, email campaigns. Are we looking after the customer to then upsell them to different things that we can, sell them via? If we're going to create a lead, are we looking after that lead? If we're selling e-commerce, are we looking after that customer by upselling them, downselling them? We can do this in a number of different ways. And if we're doing that, then we're looking at the lifetime value, which is straight away, it's a different ballgame then. We're looking at a far more profitable campaign. A sale is not a customer. And I think if we understand that, then our mindset can change, and we can understand that actually we're looking at the business as a longer term rather than just a short term. I did 4 ROAS. So what? It doesn't make a difference. What's the lifetime value of that customer? How are you looking after that customer? Are you looking at the big picture? The big picture, take a step back. And I don't think a lot of businesses do that enough. Also, if we're running campaigns, are we setting them up the correct way? Again, as a media buyer, we should know how to be setting up campaigns. We should know how to test multiple ways. We then post IDs rather than duplicating campaigns. Take the post ID, look to scale, do it in the right way. What that means, if we're taking post IDs, we can then look to keep all that social proof that we've built up, we've paid for. So if we've had a good testing campaign and we found a good campaign that's working really well, campaign with the ad set and ad, we can take the post ID of the ad, we can then put that into a new ad set, new ad, and then from there we can run that, look to scale it, and then from there we can get all the likes, all the comments, all the shares that gets added into the new campaign, which is exactly what we're looking to do. So if we can do that, then social proof, we keep the social proof that we've already received from the previous testing campaigns. Again, I don't see a lot of that going on, and I don't see many people talking about that. So that's another way that we can keep all the social proof for campaigns running forward. So we also need to be relationship management. So looking after our clients, to making sure that we're regularly updating, not just on the good, but also the bad, the ugly, to make sure potentially we can see some roadblocks. We know in November, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the cost of advertising is going to go a lot higher than seasonally what we're normally used to, because it's every year it's the same thing, because more money's poured into it, more advertisers come into trying to make more money. So the cost of advertising is going to be more expensive, whether it be on Google, TikTok, Facebook, whatever you're looking to advertise on. We know seasonally that potentially it's going to be more expensive. Do you get involved in that, or do you take a step back? Again, that's a conversation for the company that you're working with. Potentially you can make a lot of money, but potentially it could be very expensive also for you. So it's understanding that you have the experience and the know-how to handle these Black Friday, Cyber Mondays. To obviously, people are looking for good deals, so we want to make sure that people are clicking on our ads to then drive more sales or to get more leads if you're a coaching consultant. So it's a number of different things that a media buyer does. So if you've got any questions, let me know. I hope that made sense. And if you want any videos done on any particular other subject, let me know and we'll get those done. Take care.